Welcome to the Wellness Abundance Podcast. I'm Melissa King, your podcast host, board-certified health and wellness coach, certified personal trainer, and founder of Wellness Abundance Coaching. I created this podcast to help women like you learn more about your body so you can age gracefully and navigate the different seasons of your life effortlessly. If you're a woman searching for answers to unexpected weight gain, intense PMS, chronic fatigue, fertility challenges, PCOS, brain fog, and more, this podcast is for you. We'll do a deep dive into all areas of women's health and connect with experts so you can get clarity on what's happening within your body. This will empower you to take control of your mindset on the natural aging process and create flexible lifestyle habits that work for you at any age. Now, grab your favorite glass of wine, cup of coffee, or mocktail, and enjoy the episode. Hello, and welcome back to another Wellness Abundance podcast. I'm your host, Melissa King. Okay, so this week's blog post is all about how to know when you're kind of meeting that I just want to give up and throw in the towel and I can't do this, you know what, anymore. I'm just fed up and I just give up. Okay. And one of the reasons why I thought now would be a great time to talk about this is because we're about halfway through January. So if you are, you have some New Year's resolutions, you're about 2.5 weeks into them, right? If you started on January 1st. And most studies show that a majority of people just kind of throw in the towel and give up on their New Year's resolutions by the time February rolls around, which I'm not surprised about because once you kind of get that wave of motivation, things kind of get hard a little bit. Maybe the excitement wears off and you're just like the newness wears off, or you have had a rough couple weeks and you just feel like you couldn't really gain that momentum, so there's several reasons. So today what I want to do is just to share 3 things to consider when you feel like giving up. Okay. The first thing is, where are you in your menstrual cycle? Okay. Now this is a super important one. By the way, this is my Women's Weekly Wellness Tip for my weekly newsletter that I send out every Friday. So if you haven't gotten on my list, go to my website, melissaking.net, and you can, sign up. It's just right at the top of the page. And plus you'll get my free guide to fat loss for energy levels, or fitness for fat loss, energy level, and mood levels and mood, plus 27 free on-demand fitness videos. So just a little plug there. So you could stay in the loop too with what we have happening over here. So anyways, so really tracking your menstrual cycle is huge. It could be a huge game changer for a lot of things, which I'll go into on another podcast episode. But one of the reasons why this is something you should consider when you are, feeling just like giving up, because when we get, now every woman's different, and this is why it's important to track, but so when we kind of get towards the end of our menstrual cycle, so this is the time right before we're going to start menstruating, so right before our period, our hormones, fluctuate. So our hormone levels drop, progesterone, estrogen drop just a couple days before you're going to start your period. And this can cause like lack of focus, low energy levels, and just kind of fatigue in general. So that's one thing to consider when you're like, I'm just going to give up. Maybe don't give up quite yet, and just recognize that, I am actually at a point in my cycle where my hormones are just, I just don't have the motivation right now, and that's okay, and be okay with it. Okay. So tracking your menstrual cycle. And then the second thing I want to share is, with you, something to consider is, are you on the right path? Now, I wrote about this recently, so you can also go to my website, melissaking.net, and under awesome resources, go to the blog, and you could check out that blog post on this topic. But really kind of consider, like, am I going down the right path? Is this the path I even want to be on? Because if it's not, of course, you're not going to have the motivation. It's like, when you're at a job and you're just like, I really do not like this job for whatever reason. It could not be challenging for you. Maybe you're a creative person and it's more administrative, more customer service oriented. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you are not, it's a creative job and you're like, you know what? I'm just not a creative person in this sense. So I just would rather do something a little bit simpler, So think about that. So are you on the right path? Have you really thought about where you want to be? Like, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be by the end of 2025? If you're happy with your weight, or it's not necessary for you to lose weight, you're healthy, but you have this weight loss goal because that's what society, social media, and everyone is telling you that you should achieve. You're just not going to be motivated. Or if you're going down a path where you have a very specific meal plan, a very regimented exercise routine, and you're like, you know what? I do not want a regimented exercise routine. If that's you, I'm with you. I do not enjoy a regimented exercise routine. I'm not saying I'm not consistent and I don't move my body frequently and I don't work out regularly. However, I'm not the biggest planner with my exercise routine. It doesn't really work for me. So sometimes I do like to, kind of loosely plan my workouts, at the beginning of the week. But if I wake up and I'm like, you know what, I am not in the mood to be doing these jump squats. I don't feel it. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm just not feeling it. I'm sore from my other workout. I like having that flexibility, and that's something I really work with my clients with as well. So if that's you, I'm happy to work with you and help you kind of figure out how to make that work. And then, are you on the right path? Kind of is a great segue into the third thing that I encourage you to consider is, are you setting realistic goals? Are your goals realistic? Because we can have this huge weight loss goal, right? By the end of the year, say you want to lose, 25 pounds or 30 pounds or 50, whatever the numbers, that it doesn't really matter. And you set this goal where you're like, I'm going to start strong. I really indulged over the holidays and I'm just done with it. My body needs a reset. And you just go too hard. You eliminate all alcohol, you eliminate all sugar, you eliminate all bread. You're like, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. every morning and I'm just going to get into the gym. I'm going to do this. And you have a list of 10 things that you're going to do every day. Is that realistic for you? Like, seriously, ask yourself, are these realistic goals? Because sometimes when we get overwhelmed, like, it's actually kind of a physiological response to shut down. If there's too much going on, we actually biologically want to just shut down and we don't do anything. So really kind of setting some more realistic process goals, and process goals are things that you have control over. Outcome goals, you don't really have a lot of control over. So you don't have a lot of control over the number on the scale, right? And when you don't, it's easy to get frustrated on that. What you do have control over is your process goals. I like to call them action items. These are things that you have complete control over on a daily basis. For example, You have control over how much you move your body during the day. Do you want to get up and take a 15-minute walk in the morning before you have your coffee? Is that realistic for you? Is it doable? If it is, great. Then do that. Then set that goal. And how many days a week do you want to do that? Is it 5 days a week? Is it 3 days a week? Is it 2 days a week? Do you want to start with 1 day a week? These are conversations that I have with my coaching clients all the time, because sometimes it's hard to kind of figure out where to start. So that's my role as your health and fitness coach, is to help kind of guide you and help walk you through, pun intended, help walk you through what's the best strategy for you. So it may sound super simple and you're like, I got this. But I gotta say, it's not the easiest thing to do. Okay, so really kind of taking a step back and asking yourself, are my goals realistic? And am I focusing too much on the outcome goal rather than the process goal? So am I just overwhelming myself, or what's happening here? So, all right, so this is a quick, short episode today. I just wanted to share those 3 things with you to consider when or if you feel like giving up at any time. And I'm actually going to change my language on that, what I just said, and switch it to when, because let's be real, we all feel like giving up sometimes. Even the most successful people feel like giving up sometimes. I feel like giving up sometimes on how I'm eating. I feel like giving up sometimes on my exercise routine. I feel like giving up sometimes on my sleep schedule. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to stay up late and watch movies or binge watch a show, I feel like giving up, and just throwing in the towel. But these are things that I consider, these 3 things. So tracking your menstrual cycle, learning where you are. And this is something I do a deep dive into in my program. And then also the second thing is, are you going down the right path? Like, is this the path that you want to go down? Do you actually want to do this? And the third thing is, are you setting realistic process goals or action items? So, all right. So thank you so much for listening or watching wherever you are, whatever platform you're using to hear me chit chat about this. Remember, go to melissaking.net and opt in to our weekly newsletter that goes out every Friday morning with the new podcast episode, new blog post info. I have a recipe of the week and a weekly women's health wellness tip. So you get a lot really in one email from me every single Friday morning. And I gotta say, I put a lot of work, a lot of energy into my weekly emails. So they're really great. I love writing them and I love sharing them with women like you. So go to my website, melissaking.net, and then you'll get your free guide to fat loss, fitness for fat loss, energy levels, and mood. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to share this episode with any woman you know who's interested, or any man who wants to understand the women in their life better. Or, also like this wherever you are listening to this. And remember to subscribe. Okay, thanks so much. Talk to you later. The Wellness Abundance Podcast is sponsored by Wellness Abundance Coaching. At Wellness Abundance Coaching, we help women create flexible nutrition and fitness plans that fit into their life to help them lose weight effortlessly and navigate the different hormonal seasons of their life with clarity, empowerment, and flexibility. We offer one-on-one and group health and fitness coaching. To learn more about how we can help you navigate the different seasons of your life and become the healthiest version of yourself, schedule a time to chat with us by visiting melissaking.net.